Hello! Thank you for tuning in to this week's reads. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. The YouTube channel is James13 Wicca, in case you're seeing this somewhere else. For the main part of the read, I'm using the tarot deck, Gilded Tarot Royale by Ciro Marchetti, text by Barbara Moore. On the bottom here, assuming I get this right, it's Llewellyn.com is where this one came from anyway, and there's a couple other socials if you're interested. Supportive Oracle Cards, Chakra Wisdom Oracle Cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen Ray Baskin? Yeah. Watkins Publishing is the website, watkinspublishing.com, I believe. And I think there's a website for Tori Hartman too in that black little strip above the barcode. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. The dice are from the Dice Shop. The website is mathartfun.com if you want to check them out. I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana, 22 substitutes for 0 for the fool, 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and a 4-sided dice for the element to match for the minor arcana. That being said, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. And let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Leo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Leo? The energy, is just pushing me forward really fast, which I don't think is a bad thing, but I'm noticing, I didn't even shuffle. I shuffled the tarot cards, but for some reason I didn't get into, doing the oracle cards here. Ooh. Is somebody blocked from you? I feel like they're saying something hasn't been working right for a while. Something hasn't been working right for a while. So, they're saying, because something I think has been in your way. This is a good card. This is the Nine of Pentacles, right? So this talks about being self-sufficient, being on your own, having everything you need, not having to worry about anybody else, that type of energy. And I feel like there's something that's been blocking you from getting into another level. The World has been waiting. The World has been waiting. The King of Swords has been waiting. Something has been waiting to move forward. And it's kind of like if you don't want it, you don't have to have it. And it's been holding off for the longest time. You don't want to do it, so it's not going to get done. You're not going to do it, then it's not going to happen. It almost feels like for some of you, it's moving. Maybe moving to a different job, different location, moving something out of your way. And it's kind of like, for some reason, you've been deciding you weren't going to do it, and you've been holding it back. I feel like for Leo, when they don't want to do something, and you'll let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, you build more things around you to keep you from being able to a point. So it's kind of like, if you're like, oh, the job, I don't want to move on from it, even though I do, I don't. So you create more bonds, more expectations, more responsibilities, more people who want you to stay there. You try to build yourself in, you try to block yourself in. If you it's kind of like you need to do a change, but you're trying to stop yourself from doing it, that type of thing. Same thing with family. It's kind of like I try to get involved in more family events so that I'm not letting myself disconnect from this, even though I really want to keep myself from actually doing it. I get myself connected to more and more levels, more and more deep things, so that way I can't seem to let myself do it. Something like that, which is interesting. Because does that happen to Leo a lot? Where you build yourself deeper to keep yourself from letting it go? Even though you want to, you're like, but I shouldn't for some reason? I can think of a Leo I've known, and there was a relative of theirs, and they they kept getting involved and they kept helping and they kept offering help to that person so that they wouldn't go distance, so they wouldn't end up getting more distance from them, even though ultimately that one relative would drive them completely crazy. So it was very interesting. I kind of remember that. So the next thing coming up is the Seven of Wands, which is holding things out on the outside, keeping things on the outside. And then the High Priestess reversed. It's working against you. Somebody else is blocking you. So I was going to use that analogy where, you know, the person I was thinking of, they kept you know, offering help, sending text messages, showing up to help them do things, kept offering help, you know, did everything in their power to help them. It's like all of a sudden this person has decided they don't want your help anymore. And they block you for whatever reason. It's almost like either that or they move like to a town 3 hours away to where you physically can't be there at a moment's notice. Like, could you do it? I mean, you could take the 3 hour trip, but it doesn't. It's like you have other responsibilities where you literally can't do that, and just do at the drop of a hat. They're blocking you, and I feel like this is actually changing the whole landscape of what's going on here. By them doing that, because I got the Two of Swords here, they're blocking you. They're just flat out blocking you. I don't even think you did anything. They just decided they want to do that. It's moving this energy on, and it's creating a better balance in your own life. And I feel like this is kind of like, I don't know what to do with this. It kind of throws me. Like, when this happens in your life, it's like, I feel like that's the response for Leo. Like, I don't know what to do with this. This is, like, what? I don't understand why they did that. Like, what? I don't understand why they did that. I feel like I'm completely thrown. Especially when you've been very helpful to them. I don't know why they did it, and I feel stuck with it. I don't know why they did it, and I'm stuck. Like, okay. I'm getting this as a very good thing. It's a very good thing with the soulmate card coming in. Sometimes I see this more as a challenge card. I know people romanticize this card, but I believe in more than one life. And if the soulmate energy shows up, it's not usually to have a good time. It's usually to help learn a lesson because you won't walk away from it. When you cross over to the other side, there's nothing borrowing you from them. You can be with them whenever you want, at any point, with no problem. So, you know, sometimes it comes in as a challenge energy, the way I see it, so just be careful with that. But it's also saying, like, this is for, like, a positive resolution. Something really good can come out of this, especially where it's showing up in the reading. A lot of these cards, it depends where they show up in the reading to how they flavor what's going on. So this could also say that you have a very strong bond with this person, just to be fair. Because I know some people see that card and they get excited, but, like, I don't know. It depends on what's going on with it, just to be fair. There's a lot of healing that could come out of this. This is meant for better energy. A lot of healing can come out of this. It's more about the willingness to engage what's actually happening and just kind of, like, help it go along to your benefit versus your detriment. Being more connected, like, wait a minute. I bend over backwards and they just run? What's the deal? And kind of seeing it like, you know, maybe this person doesn't deserve all the help you give them. The next thing comes, they come in and out when they want to. Whatever this is, also, you don't have to lose the total connection here, just in case that's going to matter to some of you, because I feel like it will to a lot of you. It's going to come back in. And it comes in randomly, which doesn't seem to bother you all too much, but it comes back in randomly. But the thing is, there's still no answers. There's still no answers. I feel like it bothers you, but, like, when I say there's no answers, it's not like you're not asking, because I feel like most of you probably will. I just feel like it's like they're running you in circles and you know it. And even if you get them, if you hold their feet to the fire, they'll give you an answer, but it more than likely won't be the answer, and you know that. I feel like a lot of you won't even bother, because you're like, yeah, I can press for an answer. They'll tell me something, probably not what's really going on. And I feel like a lot of you are just kind of seeing it for what it is and kind of letting it be, kind of like, what's the point? The point here is to not just let it be okay. you can still have this energy, but to not let it, to see it for what it is. It's not okay what's going on here is what I'm getting, but try not to like whitewash it for yourself, if you will, or what is that? Like, don't do the rose-colored glasses thing. Try to not do that. They're saying, see this for what it really is, and that some people are making decisions that are not to your benefit. Enjoy what you want to with this person, but make sure it's equally at your benefit as much as their benefit. I feel like what they're saying is like realize that they're going to keep playing this game with you. There's something here that needs to evolve a little farther. And they're saying do not bend over backwards for them anymore. If something you're doing can be benefit for them, and you're already doing it, like for example, you're going to go to the beach or you're going to have a party or whatever, and you're like, oh, they can come, I don't mind. You're already doing it, invite them to that thing that you're already doing. But if they're kind of like, oh, I wish I could go to the beach, I wish somebody was going to the beach, don't change your whole day and go to the beach so you can invite them. You know what I'm saying? Because I think some of you might have been doing that. Might have been. Take it with a grain of salt. Because whoever this is, that's why I keep seeing this. They mean a lot to you. So Leo will do some crazy things for people they deeply love. I don't think that's news. I think if I'm wrong, you're going to tell me in the comments. I know you will. But Leo could do some crazy things for people that they love. I really think that's true. But you're going to let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. I know you will. Y'all aren't shy. Most of you aren't shy. Every now and then somebody pops into the comments and says, well, I'm shy. And I'm just like, well, you just told me you weren't. But I mean, you just told me you were shy, but you just communicated. I think it's funny. But it's cool. I'm not being a little brat. Or I'm being a little brat. But if you can put this more in like seeing this for what it really is and put it more in your perspective, kind of like, you know what, maybe I do too much for this person and they're not really appreciating it like they should, but you still want the connection for whatever reason, and that's your business. Just like don't bend over backwards anymore. Let's stop bending over backwards. If you were already doing it anyway, invite them in because you want them around, cool. But if they're trying to manipulate you and get you to do what they want, so that's a bend over backwards energy. Don't do that. Don't do that anymore, because I feel like some of you were putting up with it and you had reasons for that, but they're like, don't do this anymore, because when push comes to shove, they're not going to be there for you. Stabilize this and put this in your energy the way you want it to be, that works for you to your advantage, not to their advantage, not anymore. You did what you had to do for a while, but it's kind of like that time is passing. Let's let that pass. It's hard for you to do this because I feel like it bothers you, because I feel like some of you are going to have these insecurities creep up where, uh-oh, what if I lose them? Or, uh-oh, if I don't bend over backwards, they could walk away permanently. I don't want that. Like, they won't walk away permanently. They'll walk away. They might walk away every now and then to try to, like, terrorize you a little bit. Like, you're going to lose me, Leo. You better do what I want. You better do some backflips. Do some backflips. Better do some backflips. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. See how long they stay away. They'll always come back because you have that dynamic energy. They'll always come back. Don't let them control you at all. Do your thing. Invite them if you were going to do it anyway, if you want to, of course. But don't change your plans for what they want because you feel like you have to keep them in your life. Because they won't completely disappear because you are that dynamic, successful energy that they want to be around. They're going to whine and complain when you won't play the game the way they want to anymore. That will happen. But realize when they're whining and complaining that you're not playing the game the way they want to, that's because now you have the control. And you should have the control. You need to have that control. And all you're doing is you're just not bending over backwards to their whims. And you need to not do that. So I feel like it's interesting because Leo's a very, very strong energy, but you have a lot of depths to you. So if you're playing it, there's a reason you are, but they're saying you don't need to. You don't need to. This doesn't have to go to their advantage. Let this go to your advantage. Are we good? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.